Bonjour, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Dreadnought Improvement Project Extended. Yeah, let's see. Got some cruisers ready to go right here. Let's go take Equatorial Guinea. I don't think the army will take it, so better do it myself. Spain still has a bunch of ships, like, sailing back and forth. China is now taking Thailand. I had the option of taking a conquest battle here previously, but I didn't have the required tonnage here in Asia. I would have to transfer ships from Europe over to here, which was not practical at the moment. Sadly, it seems now that the Chinese will take it, I probably won't get another chance to take it as a conquest battle. So whenever we start fighting the Chinese, then we can take Thailand. Now, the Ottoman Empire, whom we are now also fighting, they're also fighting the Greek and many others. And the Kingdom of Greece, they're actually invading Turkey here. And they might be successful. Of course, the Ottoman army is counter-invading the Dardanelles. So it kind of goes both ways. Actually, no, I don't think the Greeks will take it, because here comes an Ottoman fleet. Unless we intercept them. Two battleships, one light cruiser, 4 torpedo boats. Not the biggest of fleets, but might be enough. Might be enough. Depending on what kind of battleships those Ottoman battleships are. I'm not sure if they've been building my designs or not. Armies here, slightly pushing in, 11%. It's not nothing. And I should also be encountering that battleship with something. I remember sending something last episode at the end. I think it was torpedo boats. Let's head on over to October and see what happens. No thank you, Greece, even though I am kind of helping you out here. And we're striking here, we're striking there. There we go. 2 battleships, 4 torpedo boats were sent to encounter this enemy battleship. That should not be much of a challenge. But nice. A battleship kill is always welcome. Let's reduce the battleship speed down to cruising speed already. There's the enemy battleship. Yeah, I think Spain is one of those nations that has a very limited shipyard size at the start of the campaign, so they can't build more than 8,000 tons of battleship. I noticed that when doing the share designs, some nations early on in the 1890s, they really struggle with getting something decent. And some of them were even just completely unable to get battleships at all. Let's have the enemy battleship engage my battleships, and then we're going to bring in the torpedo boats. These have not had their refit yet, so they're using brown and black powder. These guns are going to be quite a bit more powerful with better propellants. Now we're bringing these in. 10.8 inches. Hang on. %? Thereabouts. Yeah, we can take that. We can take that. They can probably not take me. No. They're gonna struggle with my extended belts. I said we can go through that armor, we can load AP. And again, we might not need that, because here comes my torpedo boats. Unmolested, as the enemy battleship is focusing on my battleships. So far, neither has done any damage. First torpedo boat. Torps away. Let's try and avoid the enemy torpedoes. Which we might, maybe. Nope, not quite. Not quite. Second torpedo boat coming in. Another 5 torpedoes. Not needed. The first 5 did the job. Perfect. That was, I think, pretty textbook. I kind of forgot to take any like screenshots for the thumbnail, but I think I got some leftover screenshots from a previous episode that I can use. No one's gonna notice that it's not from this one. Yeah, the Spanish light cruisers with 1 inch of armor that my own light cruisers have been struggling with, because my light cruisers HE, both with the Mark II 6-inch and the Mark I 7-inch, don't have enough pen to go through 1 inch of armor. And the AP has too much pen, so they're going to overpen. Now the heavy cruiser, of course, has a lot more AP penetration, but also more HE penetration. And these 5 and 3-inch guns with AP should make short work of that light cruiser. Maybe this time we have the correct ship to counter this light cruiser, which, you know, with the cost difference, it would kind of be embarrassing if this didn't go well. speed up a little bit. Get that aft turret engaging as well. There we go. And there we go. HE penetrations. Perfect. And that might be it. That might be all I needed. Put a couple more in, just for good measure. Perfect. Just what I said would happen. 9-inch HE, just enough pen to go through, and the 5-inch AP going through without overpenning. Ideal. Optimal, one might say. Transport losses, not quite so optimal. I did not get that battle with the Ottomans here. Surprising. But I want to take them out so that my Greek, not allies but still friends, can take Western Turkey. Let's see, where are you heading? You're just like heading here? Okay. Let's send these guys back to the invasion circle. We're sending these out here. All right. The army might take this, but still, let's do Equatorial Guinea. Hang on. Or do I have, like, options here? Caroline Islands, 133 million. Equatorial Guinea is worth more. But I can't take it. No, of course not, because that would have to be 25,000 tons. Right. I knew that. I just forgot. You can send this back to port. And I do intend to give those light cruisers a quick refit. Just to improve their gun performance a little bit. Because they don't need much. They just need to have new propellants installed. And new ammunition. No, that's the 1-inch armored ones. And that's one of the light cruisers that have too much AP penetration and not enough HE penetration. Now, if that Spanish light cruiser would have just a little bit more armor or just a little bit less armor, we'd be much better off. I can still take them though. If we engage them at like close to max range of my 7-inch guns. Might make it work. Might make it work with AP. Alternatively, draw them away from the transport, inflict a little bit of flooding to slow them down, then turn back around, go for the transport, and leave these guys stranded. If I can just hit them. Now their smoke ran out. They did not take the bait. Okay, so that plan didn't work. I was originally going to wait to refit these until I have the Mark II 7-inch gun. But I kind of need them to be effective now. Not in 2 years or whenever I get the Mark II 7. So the transport is like up here somewhere. Just can't see it right now. I think it's up there somewhere. Or are we sailing away from the transport? Don't have much of a range advantage over those 4-inch guns. You'd think I would. There we go. We got engine damage on Andalusia. But they fixed it. They got 33% fuel. I got 90% fuel. Well, one way to do this would be to just wait until they run out of fuel. Because they obviously have less operational range than I do, 32%. Yeah, they're gonna run out of fuel pretty soon, actually. But where did the transport go? I completely lost track of it. 26% now. Maybe they're the ones drawing me away from the transport. I'm at 83%. I can keep this going for a while longer. I think 10% is when you run into low fuel. We'll find out. They're at 14 now. I think this is the first time I ever try to, like, actively run the enemy out of fuel. You know, if it's an advantage I have, then low fuel. Yeah, there we go. They've now dropped to 11 knots. Too bad about them just hiding in that smoke screen, but... that's gonna run out soon too. And with them now only doing, what, 12 knots? Let's see, get into range now, please. Yeah, target slow speed. Not much of a bonus, but it's something. There we go, full pen. Main belt. We're far enough away that the AP won't just overpen. Accuracy does leave a little bit to be desired, though. Just imagine this with a refit. A little bit more pen on the HE. Allowing for full belt penetrations. At closer ranges. This would have been over long, long, long ago. Perfect. Well, they're fixed the flooding and the engine. I have to turn these compartments red. No idea where the transport went, though. More main belt pens. Still not doing too much. Let's try with the HE. We can even hit it. Let's get the 3-inch gun involved too. Time is running out. Are we just gonna run out the timer here? There. Yeah. Timer. Very inconclusive battle. So let's fix that with that Nayada class light cruiser. Because it needs fixed. Let's see what we can do with a quick refit. First, we're going to save some weight by improving the engine. Then we're going to up the HE penetration just a little bit. And then some more. And already there, that should be enough. We're going to give it a citadel too. Sure. And some more 3-inch guns, if we can fit them. Yes. Not quite enough with the casemates there. Let's remove those two. Casemates need a little bit more armor. So how about these 3-inch guns? Do we make them... I can't make them 3.9s, the casemates. 3.4 maybe. That should work. That should make them very effective. Against 1-inch armored ships. I think that's fixed now. Or at least against that very specific Spanish light cruiser design. We can refit 4 of them right away. It's a 2-month refit period, though. One is being repaired. 2 are being repaired. From very, very slight damage. And I think some of them are also at sea. Yeah. But it's pretty good. They should be slaughtering Spanish light cruisers in no time once they get that refit. Which I should have gotten them a long time ago. Since I wasn't going to wait for the Mark II 7-inch anyway. Here we go, though. 3 heavies and 1 light versus 4 heavies and 1 light. However, I know, even though these are share design ships and like pretty good for 1890, I know these are better. Quite a bit better. Right. You, Pascal, you can just follow Furieux. Let's see, which way are the Spanish turning? To the north? What kind of belt armor did these guys have? 5.9 on the main belt. Alright. So the 6-inch guns on my light cruiser can't quite go through that. Nine-inch on my armored cruisers should not have any problem whatsoever. Love it. Already scoring good hits on Lyon. Which should be gone very soon now. Yeah. See, that's what happens to a Spanish light cruiser when it encounters something that has more than 1 inch of HE penetration. And this lead Spanish armored cruiser not doing too much better. Already leaving formation. Now, stop it with the changing of the targets. Or actually, no, that's okay. Why are everyone now focused on this one cruiser? There. You can have the secondaries targeting Lyon. Like so, maybe? Let's get the rest of the line in the shot too. That could work. Yeah, the 5-inch secondaries are going to sink this one. Even if it's hiding behind the armored cruisers now, which is probably the best thing it could do. Taking some very minor damage. Santa Maria relatively unmolested until now, that is. Valeries probably gonna sink from that. It's flooding all over. There we go. Santa Maria as well. And we get flash fires. My favorite. And that's all of them. All 3 of them. Almost at the same time. Santa Maria is still afloat though. Probably not for long. Let's turn off those secondaries. They're just ruining the accuracy of the 9s. There we go. My fat little Tumblehome armored cruiser is doing great work. And there. That's pretty perfect. And here we go. We are fighting shared assigned ships, actually. The battleships. Design displacement of 8,500 tons. So yeah, they had that limit going for them. The armored cruisers, I think, are just AI designs, but they do have 10-inch guns. How about the light cruisers? 11 6.2-inch guns. That's a lot of firepower. Right, I don't have much of a cruiser screen of my own. I got one Pascal light cruiser, and that's it. We're gonna just try and make the best of it, I guess. Yeah, okay, I remember designing those ships now, the battleships. Designed to be as near copies as I could make of the first generation pre-dreadnought battleships I had in my Ottoman campaign. Suleiman, I think they were called then. Right, Terrible and Pierre Henri. You're gonna have to do a lot of work here. I'd say these 12-inch guns, being that they are still using brown and black powder, are inferior to the 9-inch guns on the armored cruisers that we just played with. But they're gonna need to get a refit too. Probably superior to the 11-inch guns on the enemy battleships, though. These ships have seen combat. See, with my cruising speed, 8 knots. Now, I will need you, my dear battleships, to actually focus on the ships I tell you to. I know that is hard. .7 on the main belt on this one. 5.3 and 2.1 on the fore and afts. My light cruiser guns can go through this. Let's just have my torpedo boats ready to engage. I think the enemy is busy firing at something else. There we go, one battleship. Heavily damaged. Flooding and 2 engines out. That's a good start. If we can draw the cruisers away from the enemy battleships, torpedo boats should be able to, like, sink them. Mostly unmolested. How about you fire AP out of those 6-inch guns? I think that would work. Yes, see there? Might not need the torpedo boats for that battleship. But my battleships might need to do something about these armored cruisers. If we can just fire those main guns and do some damage, that'll be sweet. Let's see, let's bring these around here. And get feta. Davut is doing good work against Tazos. Are you coming in to torpedo me? I will not be having that, sir. We're gonna go for feta. And maybe finish off this guy as well. That was a sweet kill shot on Mohabbat. right in the nick of time as she was closing in to torpedo my battleship. So far, so good. Well, Feta is engaging my battleships. But my battleships have now pretty much wiped out the enemy armored cruisers. Let's see. First, torpedo boat. You're gonna leave the formation. And you're gonna go straight for Pelengi body. And hopefully survive. Are we gonna get close enough to torpedo before sinking here? Hopefully. TB90 is now in range. Torpedoes have been dumped. Counter torpedoes coming in. Can we turn sharp enough to avoid? No. But it was a dud, so it's fine. 3 torpedoes striking the enemy battleship. My torpedo boat unharmed. It was. 1 battleship down. That's the second battleship sunk by torpedo boats this episode. Will there be a third? You can actually just rejoin the formation. Might be reloaded by the time we reach the other battleship. Because single tube 15-inch torpedoes, they don't take 3 weeks to reload. Well, I think the one thing that might prevent this from being the third battleship sunk by torpedo boats is it might be the first battleship sunk by battleships. Because Terrible and Pierre-Henri have proven they can kill things. They just scored a main belt pen on Feta. Davout is keeping these 3 light cruisers busy. TB90 T3 is now on approach. But has taken some hits from the secondary weaponry on Feta. I think she'll make it in range though. Just gonna have to take that torpedo. Yeah, Feta is going down. $90 T3, minor damage. She's fine. All in all, this has gone well, I think. Let's see, Terrible and Pierre-Henri. You got your targets. Now Davout will just have to draw these guys in towards the battleships, I think. Because I don't intend to let these guys stay afloat. That will be my punishment issued to the Ottoman Empire for going to war with me. I'm gonna let the Greeks take our land. Now Davout is actually taking some return damage. Yeah, there we go. Our first flooding hit received. Their 6-inch guns are not too bad either, and they got a lot of them. Pierre-Henri, you can target the first one. Been sailing around like crazy all game long and still has 90% fuel left. Am I gonna have to distinct light cruisers with torpedo boats. Maybe. I'm bringing them back here just in case. The 12-inch guns are overpenning. We set the secondaries to AP. We're out of AP on Davao. Running completely dry. But HE is still doing things. Knocked out a torpedo, causing a lot of flooding on that one. Which they fixed, of course. Surrendered. Izmir. Let's see here. My torpedo boats are suddenly back. Of course, the enemy cruiser has torpedoes as well. Now you are on low fuel, TB90. T2 has 82% fuel. The other ones have much less. I think TB90 just ran out of fuel right now. Five torpedo hits, one dead light cruiser. Let's get the second one too. Yeah. There we go. More torpedo hits. Great. I think it's going down. I'd say that was excellent work by my torpedo boats. Both dealing with the battleships and now coming in to clean up the light cruisers. That was excellent work by all ships involved. I always think it feels a little bit weird though when you fight a nation you've just played as. But anyway, one light cruiser here. And that will have to wait for the next one, I think. Because we're a little bit past the 1 hour mark now that I tried to keep the videos at. But we got another 2 Pierre-Henri class battleships and more torpedo boats to deal with a single light cruiser, so shouldn't be much of a problem. Goodbye, and take care.